Good evening, and welcome to the St. Petersburg by Night podcasting network. Tonight, we present to you our Hunter the Reckoning Chronicle. What the hell is that?
Welcome to another St. Pete by Night revamped production. The following is rated for mature audiences and may contain graphic themes that will be distressing to some viewers. As always, we recommend you ensure the safety and well-being of yourself and those around you at all times. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everybody and welcome back to What the Hell is That? Season 2. We are coming to you kinda live from St. Petersburg by Night Discord server. We are a massive multiplayer TTRPG server where we play in the world of darkness, covering Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse and Hunter the Reckoning. Tonight I am joined by 5 of my favourite players here. We'll see. So I am Dark Storyteller. You can find me on all social medias under that handle. But take it away. Let's see who else we got at the table tonight.
Hello, I'm John. I play Nicholas Flynn, and you can find me on social media at That Nerd Guy on TikTok.
Hi, I'm Chandler, or Kingdom. You can find me pretty much anywhere that you are supposed to find me as Kingdom0905. If you find me under anything else, no you didn't.
Hello, I'm playing Victor. I'm not into social media, but I will be here every week.
Hi, I'm Sam. I play Ella Gaines, and you can find me at Vampire Kaylee May on TikTok.
Hey, I'm Nabbers. I play Emory Gaines, and you can find me on Nabbers Rar on TikTok.
So with this amazing, wonderful cast, we will be stepping back in. So last season, the end of the season, it was a party, a fundraiser, an event, ended rather abruptly due to some different decisions that were made. Some revelations were also made during this party, this gathering. People were spotted leaving, helicopters were involved, security was involved. It got very crazy. During this actual particular event, however, Nicholas, you had a very interesting conversation with one individual there who was unknown to the rest of the cell. So, a couple of days later, you maybe sought her out?
Absolutely, because she has answers and he has questions.
So this one individual is someone known as Granny to the rest of the cell. A woman who is very, very well known to Emory and Ella. But as you guys know, she actually has an antique store at a flea market nearby. Would you go there looking for her?
I think you would in the first wave of overtures, because I have a feeling, and so does Nick, that this is not going to be a one and done conversation, as it were.
So you turn up a couple of days later. Maybe slightly to be expected. The storefront is closed. Will it be back in about a week? On the front of it. Now, Nick had his flights booked to head over to Ireland.
Correct.
So, he would have had to go over, visit with friends, spend a week or two away. Now,
Probably about 2.
Did you get Stephen to take care of your raven while you were gone?
Oh no, the bird. Yeah, he would have. Absolutely. Oh, the bird! The bird! I forgot about the bird! Nick probably mentioned it to Steven, and then, like, the night before he left, they were probably spending time together, and it probably went, "Caw, caw! Fuck!" It's exactly how that would have went.
So while you've been away, you get home, obviously, enjoying some amazing time with old friends, catching up with people, catching up on relationships that had occurred, and people's families. So people have, kids have been born, because you're definitely at that age where your friends would be having children, getting married, all that sort of fun stuff. Probably heard about a few individuals whose parents maybe might have died, and just general life. Beginnings and ends that happen, and that time to reconnect with your past, and that place that sort of resonates so deeply with Nick, especially with his spirituality. So when you come home, Stephen and the bird have definitely developed an interesting relationship while you've been gone. They get along now, but you can see it's definitely you come in the door and you're definitely the favourite. Stephen has a few scratches on his arms and a peck mark on his cheek, sort of, while they've been getting to know each other, because they're not known for being completely gentle all the time. Probably a complaint or two of food being stashed in random places, as ravens are also wont to do. They will hide food in little locations when allowed to. It's a standard behaviour. But they would greet you happily. It's an interesting step in the relationship with Stephen. Him having access to your house, your apartment, for 2 weeks. Considering it's only fairly new, it's a big step, but seems to have treated it very much with respect. You come home and the place is clean, aired out, probably some fresh flowers on the table. You can smell a meal has been cooked, waiting for you.
Nick's first thought is as he goes into the bathroom and pulls out a med kit, like a little medical first aid kit, and is like, "Come here, you," and just kind of yoinks Steven off, bandages him up, cleans the wounds, all that good stuff.
Most of them are they're older. You can see they've been there for about a week. They're probably in the first couple of days to a week, and he's like, "Look, it's okay. You don't need to fuss. It's fine. It's healing. We just had some teething problems, but we're good now. We're good now. It's fine. He's a cute little guy when he's not trying to eat me. It's great.
I mean, well, you are quite the snack, so.
Apparently. And he sort of looks down at one particularly big gash on his arm. He's like, yeah, apparently I am. It's great. But if you're hungry, perhaps dinner first?
Sure, why not?
Awesome. He sort
The
of
jet
serves
lag is terrible.
He serves up a really nice meal for you guys. You're able to just enjoy that time together. Just reconnecting. If the bird's let out, probably hops around, sits on your shoulder, pecks at your hair, tries to steal your food, general shenaniganery.
General Corvid things.
Very much so. But you're able to share just a nice, calm evening, and it's a new sensation or a new feeling for Nick to come home to an apartment full of life. It feels lived in. It doesn't feel lonely or empty.
And I think for the first time in probably 15 years of Nicholas's almost 40 years of existence, he truly has found peace. Like he had before all of this bullshit started. And there is a look, he looks between his little Corvid friend and he looks at Steve and just smiles and lets out a big deep breath of relaxation.
While it's a new feeling, you enjoy an evening of peace before the next morning, as always. The knowledge that you have to, in a couple of days at least, once you settle, chase a few loose ends. You sort of get your brain back into the feel of the world and perhaps get ready to return to go talk to Granny.
Hopefully she'll be there. He was gone 2 weeks, she was gone a week. She should be there.
You turn up. Flea market's actually quite busy this day. It's almost bustling. There's live music playing. You sort of can smell the fresh foods coming from the food court. It's actually really lovely. It's lovely, just a nice, warm, wonderful day that seems to have dragged everybody out. And as you walk in and you sort of navigate, you know where you're going. You've been there a few times now. And you walk in and Granny's little antique store is actually kind of busy. It's about 7 or 8 different people in there, sort of looking through the books, looking at the little curios and knickknacks and the different clocks she has on the wall. And as you know, it's sort of a rotation of items that goes through. And she looks up at you while serving what appears to be sort of a young suburban, almost housewife looking. She's bought a set of like 8 matching antique chairs and the table to go with it. She said, oh my goodness, this is going to be absolutely amazing in the new dining room. And Granny's like, yep. Awesome. When your husband comes to pick it up, please make sure he comes to the back door, not the front, because I'll be closed by then. And Granny looks over her shoulder and it's like, gives you a look and a nod of recognition. And goes, all right, not a problem. Apologies, folks. I'm closing up for lunch. If everybody could, I'll be back in, give me 10 minutes. 10 minutes. She sort of shoos everybody out of the store. She really doesn't seem to give a rat's about if anyone's grumpy at it. She definitely does her own thing and doesn't really seem to care what people do, what they think about her. She shoos them out and she's like, all right. She pulls the screen down, turns and looks at you and it's like, I was wondering when you were going to show up.
You were on vacation. I was on vacation. I just got back into town a couple days ago.
Vacation. Sure. We'll go with that for me, yeah? So.
Well, Seems like we have some loose ends to tie up, considering our conversation was cut short at that party the other night.
A lot of things were cut at that party the other night. Interesting friends you've got.
Understatement.
They seem to get caught up in a lot of different things. That's how they met me, and yeah.
I was definitely... Seems like you know more about me and the rest of them than I do, as far as, like, my involvement. You pointed out how effectively the strands of fate were being plucked, and you couldn't figure out where it was coming from.
Yeah, so... She sort of rubs her hand on the back of her neck. For those that may or may not remember, she has a tattoo there. Yeah, so... Spoke to a few old friends. Holidays are good for that, right? A vacation, was it you said? Call it a working one. Sometimes the people we meet them for different reasons. Don't we, Mr. Flynn?
Agreed.
Sometimes we could say those reasons are destiny, fate, coincidence. Sometimes there's someone else pulling the strings.
Yeah, I figured.
And
I am a man of faith, but sometimes too many coincidences are not a sign of a miracle, as it were.
I mean, look, in this business, it's not a surprise to have a few things interweave. It's not a surprise to have a couple of people know each other, meet up randomly somewhere else. If you live for long enough, you make connections and you know people.
I don't... The thing that concerns me, I've never met any of them up until this. Unless you're meaning the ones who are sort of above us in some things.
Oh, I'm very aware you know who Robert is. We had a good conversation about it.
Ah, yeah. Yes. Yeah.
As William
Robert was about the other
decided we
one.
had to meet up for tea one day and, connections are made.
Yeah, but other than that, I've never met William, I don't think. I've just met Robert in passing.
You've never met William, but I have a feeling you've been in contact with some of his family. Which bits, I don't know.
He kind of closes his eyes, trying to think about it.
I don't know whether it was an arm, a leg, or something else.
Does that trigger the memory? Wait a minute, wait. You mean the little kid that was in Milan
Yeah,
was...
good chance.
Well, that explains why Robert had a cow when he saw me.
Yeah.
Shit.
And he's not going to say anything because he's a fucking stuffy old bastard. How'd he go at me for wanting to talk to you about it?
Okay. Well, that's William.
I'd highly recommend not saying anything to William about this. Don't think he'll take it kindly. Just
Wasn't
saying.
planning on it.
Good.
Yeah, he's a little wobbly as it is. I don't need to knock him full kilter into the floor.
Yeah, I wouldn't say wobbly. But his world might get a bit interesting if he goes where I think he's going. So we'll see.
Indeed.
As for anyone else, a few of them are still a bit elusive. But I'd really start to research into some of your history. From your old employer. Have a chat to some of the people you work with and just see if there's any connections there.
Interesting.
Because it's just real strange that you're in town and you happen to spot them. You know?
I mean, I thought it was weird, but hey. But the more this tapestry keeps being weaved, the more it seems like someone's pulling the strings. Granny. So, I'll definitely call someone who I've stayed in contact with.
I would also really have a good think about who your employers are. I highly recommend you have a closer look at a few things. That's and I'll tell you this, if not all that is dead stays dead. Not everyone associated with death is there for the right reasons.
Nick nods knowingly.
Not everybody understands that the money that they receive may not be as clean as they want it to be. We'll leave it at that, Mr. Flynn.
And that is the moment that it clicks in his head exactly who she is talking about.
I want you to give me a wits and insight to see if you do actually pick up on who she's talking about.
I'm assuming I don't get desperation with this.
No, not on this one.
Four.
Now, I'm guessing from your perspective it was Cece that came to mind. Dr. Kreuger.
There were two people who came to mind.
Mm-hmm.
His contact and Cece.
The mention of someone who deals with death also brings to mind another individual that the cell has spoken to and that one member has close connections with.
Sally?
Yes. Who is a
Oh, shit.
mortician. So there are a few different people that this could be a connection to, but you do not have confirmation of any of them because Granny's not giving you enough to fully pull in all of the connections.
Nick is gonna nod respectfully, and he's actually gonna go look around and just kind of feel around, not really look, pick something up and buy it.
she'll charge you like $3 for a little mirror. Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
She'd be like, we'll go with $5, call it a friend's deal.
Oh, thank you.
But
I
for
feel
now,
bad taking up your lunchtime.
don't eat as much as I used to. Too many things to do these days. She definitely seems even more together than any other time you've seen her before. There is, I'll give you as well with the 4 successes, there appears to be almost a resolution in her that you haven't seen before. It's like she has something that she seems like she has a goal for the first time than you've seen her. She sort of walks into the front of the store and pulls the big crate back up and sort of clangs up as it hits the top. She goes, just saying. Try and stay in contact. Not over the phone. Don't call me. Don't text,
Of
don't
course.
email. If you get the
Okay.
chance, pop in.
Oh, I definitely will. I love it. This flea market's really nice. I think I'm gonna go to the food court. It's about what, lunchtime, Cole? Out of character?
Yeah, if you do pop into the cafe, Alicia makes a mean latte. She really does.
Oh, I'm usually a tea drinker, but if she makes a mean latte, I'll have to go get one and some of those French fries Emory had the other day.
Yeah, they're not bad.
He's gonna go right over there and get in line.
So you go over, get in line, and Alicia doesn't really recognize you, but she is there. You see her. She's got the little name tag, so you know it's her working. And the latte it's awesome. So, primo. It's almost like you could have bought it from an actual, like a high-end, high-class establishment. It's well made. Creme is good. So, you get your French fries, you get your latte, and you're able to sort of ponder around and peruse the place. There's a lot of different things for Nick to now contemplate and ponder. A lot of changes, a lot of innuendo, euphemisms to try and connect. So while he spends the next week or so sort of still setting up his business as well, because you've had all that happening in the back end as well. So setting up his business, getting that up and racing. We're going to leave him with the fun that comes along with stocking a store. And we're going to cross over to Emory. So Emory, who was left feeling slightly frustrated at the end of that party. There was a lot of things she just couldn't get done. A lot of things she wanted to do. A lot of people she probably wanted to punch. Showed an amazing amount of restraint at that gathering. But after the gathering itself, obviously heading back home with Ella, back to the new home. I believe you guys actually finally got an apartment. Or was it the 3rd Airbnb?
It is technically an apartment, yes.
Yeah, but
we got like a condo.
Yeah. So you got yourself somewhere new. Back there, settle in, and look, you'd already made some connections to keep yourself busy over the next month or so anyway. So for you, as frustrating as this is, you also spend the next couple of weeks, you've probably helping out a little bit with Ella, helping her sort of do some research that we'll touch on shortly, but the main bulk of your month of time is spent between setting up a new location with you and Victor and attending training. So for 2 weeks of your time away, you get a phone call. Probably about 3 to 5 days, somewhere in there afterwards. From, Miss Gaines. Still
Yes.
interested in business?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Training. Detail. 48 hours. Someone will be there to pick you up. Not want to let anyone know you're going to be gone for a week. After that, it'll be daily training.
Understood.
Think you can handle that?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. See you in 48 hours, Miss Gaines.
Mm-hmm.
Do you let Ella know that you're going away for a week?
Give me a second to think about it.
And
Yes. I will tell Ella that, hey, I'm going to be a bit MIA for a bit. Not like Uncle Brian. For train, and I'll tell her, like, I'm training at a base for, you know, a higher position.
Ella's coffee addiction will be through the roof while she's
Do you tell Alicia?
Yes, I will tell her that, hey, well, it's day training, so I'll still be having the evenings, correct?
First week you'll be gone completely,
Okay.
and then after that it'll be day training.
So I will give that itinerary.
Probably thank you quite profusely and be like, at least you're not just leaving like last time. It's a bonus.
Okay, yep. I deserve that one.
Look, it's gonna take me a while, alright? That's gonna sting for
I
a bit.
understand. Of course.
But yeah, still spend the time with you that you allow around hanging out with Ella before you leave.
Mhm.
So 48 hours later, an SUV turns up out front. Somebody wearing a black polo shirt, black pants, boots, gets out, stands and leans against the truck. Against the SUV.
Okay.
It is Josh from the police station.
That fucker.
He just leans back.
I will say goodbye to Ella if she's up.
If she knows the day you're leaving, she's probably not going to sleep.
Ouch.
It's like, no, you left me for this before, and you didn't come back for like 4 years. This is not good.
Fair enough. I will be back very soon.
Just get this done and over with, please. I need your help.
Of course. And then she'll give her a hug. Because she didn't give her a hug the last time. She just kind of laughed. And she'll even go out to Josh. His smug fucking face.
Fancy seeing you, Miss Gaines.
It's good to see you again.
He's got to sort of look to either side of you. No water bottles this time.
I have a little bit more protection for my water.
Well, this is going to be a long week. In you got.
Yes, sir. And she'll go in.
So he drives you, it's probably about a 2 to 3 hour drive. Actually heads north to almost a forested area. It's like, along the way he explains to you that this is a training facility that they use to basically make sure agents are ready. And that staff members are ready. Make sure that you have the skills, the knowledge, make sure you can stand up against supernatural. And maybe occasionally fill you in on how to use certain equipment. So during the course of the week, it's very reminiscent of basic training for you. You fall straight back into it. Within day 2, you are like, yep. The difference is the weapons. The difference is the intel that you're given. Instead of it being, civilian locations, how to minimize harm, it's methods of how to deal with certain supernaturals. They don't even give you names. It's just, it looks like this, use this. It looks like this, use this. It's handing you guns that have lights on them that seem to pierce through and burn through things. It's setting off a flashbang that oddly almost gives you sunburn and learning how that's going to react. It's silver-tipped weapons. It's wooden crosses that you're like, why am I wearing this? But it's literally edged. It's got little silver embossment around it. It's the oddest of things, but at the same time, then there's also more modern things. You see, as you enter the actual base itself when you get there, as you enter the base, I would like, actually, give me a wits and awareness, please.
Two successes.
Okay, so as you enter the base, you actually go through what appears to be almost a metal detector, but then there is additional cameras. And you sort of notice it, and you look up, and Josh sort of looks at you as you walk through, and he's like, "Scopes, man. Make sure that no one walking in doesn't have a heartbeat. It's helpful. You know, don't really need any blanks getting in while we're here, you know?" The thing is they don't just deal with what you consider like vampires, or they talk about werewolves as well. One of the guys that you're working with calls them rabid dogs. He's really not a fan. Some other guy makes a joke about a furry or two, gets shot down real fucking quick. But there's one guy that doesn't really sleep at nighttime. He refuses to sleep at night. You notice he has a strange sensation to sleep during the day. You have seen him out and about during the daytime, so you don't think it's that. Sort of sit down and have a talk to him. His name's Dave. He sort of sits there. He's a really simple looking guy. And one morning at breakfast, you sort of can meet him part way, and he sits down and he sort of looks up at you and it's like, "Oh, new recruit, huh? How long you been here for?"
At this point, I would have been here, what, a week?
Yeah, maybe 4 or 5 days, yeah.
Okay. 4 or 5 days, just about.
So you've shot a few things, you've looked at a few things, yeah. Been out at night much?
Occasionally.
Yeah. You seen them?
A few.
No, here. Have you seen them?
Are there stuff here?
Oh man. No, so they didn't fucking tell you anything, did they? So
No.
Oh wow. So we don't just deal with the physical stuff. We deal with spooky shit. Spirits, man.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do we deal with them?
No, you don't, I do.
How do you deal with them?
They think I'm crazy, but, you know, I do what I do and they leave me alone. They pay me good money, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, but, yeah.
Is that why you don't sleep?
I don't sleep because otherwise they'll get me. No. Sleep during the day, they can't get me then. We're all good. We're good.
Really? It's interesting.
Yeah. They know I'm different.
Only at night, though?
Yeah. As he's saying that, Josh walks past, puts a hand on Dave's shoulder. Hey, Dave. We've talked about this. No. Looks at you and he's like, job gets to people sometimes, you know?
Okay.
Dave, and he sort of, both hands on his shoulder, like, hey, buddy, come on. How about you go to bed? It's bedtime for you, yeah? Go on. Dave's like, yeah. Yep. All right. Okay. And he stands up and he leaves. And he goes, sort of walks off. He's like, nighttime. Yeah.
Sleep well, Dave.
Yeah. And as he walks off, Josh sort of turns to you and he's like, that's what happens when things don't go the way you want them to. We keep him here because he's got no one left. At least here he feels like he's got a job and he's safe and he's fed and he's got healthcare and all that sort of fun stuff. He Josh sort of sits down with a coffee.
Emory will sit down with him.
Dave there, we're first starting to learn to work with, in this area anyway, some new equipment sent out where we could actually pick up on spiritual readings and EMF and all that sort of science nonsense.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of those that has a few extra bonuses to looking at that sort of shit. Didn't go real well. He went home and something had come into his house. Mum, Dad, 2 brothers. They still follow him, apparently. He claims he's sort of a good little warning for how bad this job can go. You sure you're ready for that?
Everything bad's pretty much already happened to me.
You still got your mind, though.
That's debatable.
You spent a lot of time overseas, didn't you?
Quite a bit.
Well, he sort of looks you up and down. We got a really good therapy program. If you ever need it.
I'll take you up on it.
A couple of therapists in town. I'll link you in if you want.
Sure.
Better take care of the people that are working for you, right?
Yeah. Are they us safe?
Ish. Combat safe, if that makes sense. Not us safe. We don't have a lot of them. They don't last real long. They sort of,
Fair.
Hearing too much about everything that we see and every kind of that we see gets inside people's minds after a while, you know? But, you reckon we could let bygones be bygones back at the precinct? Maybe?
Yeah. I mean, the only reason I did that was because you're kind of an ass to me. So let's stop being an ass and I think we're good.
He sort of looks at you, takes a sip of his coffee, and he's like, but you are kind of an ass, Miss Gaines. You get
So
what
are
you
you.
give.
So I think we're even.
Fair.
Fair enough.
Fair. All right. Cool.
Do you guys have a database of individuals who've worked for you in the past?
Why
Or
not?
maybe my uncle is being real skeevy as of late, and I have suspicions that he's either working for someone or, I don't know, maybe you have a tag on him that maybe orgs have for other orgs or whatever. I don't know.
Name?
Brian Gaines.
He pulls out a little notepad out of his pocket and writes it down. Last known location?
Insert last known location.
And
He also had
questions like date of birth and all that sort of stuff and gets all that info off you.
And then Emory will also ask, he also had a brother as well. I don't know if you can get any history or information about him. He's deceased.
Name?
don't think we gave him a name.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
You didn't tell me our own father's name?
I'm pretty sure I did. It's Jack.
Jack. Okay.
This, folks, is what happens when people don't communicate about their backstories. 2nd season in. You guys alright? I'll see what I can do. We have a bit of a database. A lot of things. We don't tend to keep things electronically as much as people would assume that we do. It's too easy for people to get in.
Of course.
So I'll give me a couple weeks and see what I can do, alright?
Sure. Of course.
Cool. Alright, well, I'll leave you to it, Miss Gaines. Good luck.
Thank you.
Sort of stands up over the course of the remainder of the week. Again, it's physical training. There's some night drills. You're working with a few different people. People come and go. No one really stays for longer than a week, you notice. And at the end of the week, they're like, Josh takes you back, drops you back off at the house. You are able to obtain a couple of different weapons that I will detail to you in a private chat after this session, with the knowledge that you are not to use them unless requested by a higher up.
Understood.
You're also given a phone number for someone who will be your handler, essentially. And this person over the next week, after you get home, sends you to different locations to do surveillance on different individuals. They're very easy targets. It's not difficult. It's literally, you are given full instructions. Walk into this store, buy this item with cash. Tell me the color of this person's eyes. Go to this supermarket, buy this item, say these words to this person. You are given very precise instructions on what to do. Go to this park, count how many dogs you see. Like, it's almost childish. But it gives you something to do during the day because the PI work's been a bit quiet. And evenings, that's when you're setting up the safe house, you're sort of working with Victor on the security systems, getting everything happening. You know, that's keeping you busy outside of it, to the point that between the training, the safe house, keeping in contact with Alicia, and starting to give Ella a bit of help with what she's doing, you barely have enough time to think about the chaos that happened at William's home. Speaking of that, we're going to touch back on Ella. You saw something at that event that was unexpected.
Mm-hmm.
After you hand the message on to William, it's not really a lot that you can do. Sort of support him through having a bit of a look and, you know, help filling out the police report. But then Emory's gone.
Mm-hmm.
She's busy. So that week that she's gone, you spend diving into looking for Deva.
Mm-hmm.
As I've already mentioned, you heard from your uncle. told you he was going underground, essentially. When you find out that she hasn't moved from where she is, like, you spend a fair whack of the week looking around and poking in, using all of your resources as a, you know, as a bounty hunter who has the connections to private investigations that you have. You don't get a lot. You get that she's still in the same location. She got a couple of speeding fines. She's still in New Orleans.
Okay.
But talking to Uncle Brian was really weird.
Mm-hmm.
So, what is it that Ella's going to do for the next sort of week or two? I mean, obviously she's hanging out with Lana and probably actually going on a proper date for a change.
Yes,
instead of
that
just
is.
the random drives and stuff that and being at work.
Yeah, she's gonna take Lana on a proper date.
Mm-hmm.
But around that, she's probably checking into Deva at least every couple of days,
Yep.
just because she's paranoid.
Yep.
If William needs help with what she saw at the party, she will work with him on that and
Mm-hmm.
show him like where she saw Jeff go off to talk to someone and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But she's probably not gonna be doing much because other than that, because she's A, she's nervous, and B, her nerves are even more racked up because Emory's going off to training again. And the last time that happened, she didn't hear or see her sister in 4 years without a goodbye.
This time, thankfully, that doesn't happen. Emory does come home, but... And this is the other thing that's different, is you guys aren't doing everything together. You're not hanging out as much. Emory is very much busy. Where you guys have always sort of done things, you know, you've been doing whatever you're doing, but Emory's still like hanging around, and part of the reason being the PI, she was helping out, and she's barely home. She's either off doing the work that she's being asked to do, she's going over to Alicia's, she's going to therapy? Your sister doesn't go to therapy?
No, she doesn't. She makes everyone else go to therapy.
So the next couple of weeks are a bit different. Not in a bad way, just different. How's Ella processing that?
Lots and lots of coffee. She's adjusting because she knows that, you know, they can't do everything together, but that's just how it's been since Emory got back, because Ella has been the problem child, even though she's the older sister. But she kind of sees it as a good sign that maybe Emory's trusting her a little bit more, so she doesn't want to ruin that.
Okay. So she just sort of spends the time keeping her head down and out of trouble then?
As much as she can.
It's definitely something that she can achieve. I mean, with obviously, aside from the occasional poke and annoyance at the sister, it's pretty chill, relaxed as best that Ella can relax with the knowledge of who's out there and what's happening. About 2 weeks after you speak to Uncle Brian, and sort of towards the end of the calm period, you do get a message from him. Just says, still alive, don't stress, talk soon.
She will be grateful that he's actually communicating, because that's new. She will just send back a general, okay, talk soon message.
It doesn't show up as delivered.
She had a feeling. I also had a feeling, but she still tries to do it anyway.
Your uncle's always been elusive and annoying. It's really not a big surprise.
Mm-hmm.
So, in that last week, after you get that message, the world is actually oddly quiet. It's kind of nice.
It's nice, but she still doesn't trust it.
Speaking of not trusting things, William. That gathering, buddy. That was a lot.
Really was.
They messed with your stuff big time. Nothing made sense. Why the hell was the press there the way they were, but then left? And what? Then Ella told you that she saw Jeff walk off with someone and he didn't come back?
It felt calculated.
Mm-hmm.
Had to have felt calculated.
Mm. Give me an intelligence and insight check, please.
Do I get my specialty?
Yes.
I don't. Oh.
I just need to know your total, please.
Can I use a willpower to re-roll?
Yes, willpower is allowed.
That is 5 successes.
With 5 successes, you've seen calculated. You've seen plans go the way they should. You're a researcher. You know how to conduct experiments. You know what you're doing. That whole scenario looked calculated, but at the same time something went wrong. It felt like one of the situations where you can claim best laid plans, but it failed. Something pushed it forward, something escalated the situation quicker than it should have occurred. Planned but rushed at the end there. Why did it all happen so quickly? Something wasn't right. And you can think back to your conversation with Cece, with Dr. Kreuger. How rapidly that became volatile almost. It was almost like after that conversation a button was pushed that shouldn't have been pushed yet. It's like it sped things up. And then Ella tells you about Jeff missing. And you start looking. But you don't find him. You use all of the skills at your disposal. Track phone records, bank accounts. This is your best friend. Where is he? What the hell happened? You can't find him. So you go with Ella and you go and put in a police report, a missing persons report. It's an experience you didn't think you'd ever have to go through again. You're getting flashbacks to when Alice went missing first, when everything happened. Like, you thought she died. Like, what happened this time? You know the truth now. It's Alan, but what's going on? You get home. It's late at night. And you walk in, up to your front door, to a note. It's taped to the door. You open it.
William would open it.
Very hurriedly scribbled in Jeff's handwriting. I'm safe. Stop looking. If you keep looking, it will only make things worse. It appears very hurriedly scribbled. Do you go inside? What do you do?
Ever since La Celestina, William has kept a pistol in his bag. He draws his pistol, and he begins to start moving into the house.
Wits and awareness, please.
Do I get any bonuses from the fact that this is my safe house?
Do you have security on your safe house?
I do not.
Sorry. It does affect the difficulty, but we'll see what you get first.
Any desperation?
No.
I'm going to spend some willpower.
Okay. Keep track of what you're spending. As always, guys.
That is 3 successes.
With 3 successes, you know this house well. You grew up here, you know? You've spent all this time here. You make your way through each room. It appears relatively untouched until you get to the guest room that Jeff was staying in. It's almost like it's been turned over, hurriedly. And all of his stuff is gone. All of his clothes, his toiletries, everything. It's all gone. With only 3 successes, there's nothing else that you notice.
William's going to take out his phone. And he's going to call Michael.
On the first ring, you get the voicemail. Do you leave a message?
Jeff's missing. Call me back.
probably about 30 seconds to a minute later, you get a call back. And a familiar voice, one that brings a flood of memories, comes through the phone. Hey, what? What do you mean? Hi.
I mean, Jeff's missing, Michael.
Hold up. What? I... What kind of joke is this? He came down for the party. Hold on 2 seconds. You hear a lot of noise in the background. If you look, just give me 2 seconds. And it sounds muffled, like his hand's gone over. I'm just going to go take this, guys, and you hear him muffled and other people talking. It sounds almost like he's at a restaurant. And he walks out, and you hear sort of the noise dulls. It's like, okay, walk me back through everything. What do you mean by he's missing? What happened?
He came down for the party, and then he wandered off into the woods, and then I went looking for him. I don't know. One of my friends said he went wandering off into the woods. I don't know. And now I've got this note that... One moment, I'll send you a picture of the note. And William takes a photo of the note and sends it. That was on my door, and now everything's torn up in my guest room, and all his stuff is gone.
I don't know what's going on. Are you sure you're okay? Well, this doesn't sound like you. What's going on? It was just, what did you do? Did he bring drugs with him again?
No, not that I know of.
I mean, I've heard of you
Not
guys
this
having
time.
some rages, but disappearing into the woods for 3 days? What the hell? I'm really confused. What? Have you been to the police? What have you done? If he's
I put in a
missing.
missing persons report. I put in a missing persons report with my friend Ella.
Okay.
She's helping me. She's a private investigator.
Okay. Look, just take a couple of deep breaths. I'm gonna get you to start from the start. He walked away in the middle of Jeff walking away from a party?
I know it sounds crazy to me too.
Are we talking about the same Jeff here? Are you sure he wasn't on drugs?
Well,
I didn't
to be
think
fair,
it was this kind of party.
it wasn't supposed to be. I mean, it's Jeff, so who knows?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point. He was always the party one out of the lot of us. But walk me through step by step. Just take a breath. You don't need to stress. It's okay. I got you.
We were at the party.
Mm-hmm.
I had an argument with Dr. Kreuger.
Okay.
After that, I was gonna go talk to Jeff, but then there was a fucking helicopter.
Okay. He sounds really
It was the local
confused.
news. It was the local news station. I had to call and put in a noise report, and they went away.
Okay.
There's been a lot that's happened that
Yep. It's good to see your life hasn't changed. It's great. Great to know. Look, do you need me there? I don't know what
Yes.
I can do, but if you need me up, alright. I'll book my flights tomorrow, okay? Are you safe?
No. I don't think I am.
I don't like that. Can I get you on a plane here? Can we get you out of there? Please.
I can't run away, Michael.
It's not running away, Will. It's being safe.
I have too much at stake. There are lives at risk.
So dramatic. You know that, right? Always been a drama queen.
And yet I've never lied, have I?
Don't ask me that. Look, I'm going to book my flights for as soon as I can. I could probably only come down for a week. He sort of goes really quiet and it's like, do I need to book a hotel?
You can stay here, but I mean, the guest room's wrecked, but
I'm sure we can figure something out. Says, look, I'll call you tomorrow with my flight details, yeah? I'll get a hire car when I land. I'll have to fly into Tampa though, so it's a bit easier to get in.
yeah, Tampa will be easier.
Can you do me a really big favor though, please? Well,
What?
just stay safe. Lock your damn doors for a change. And just don't do anything stupid. Please.
It's hard to lock the doors when you have people coming in and out as regularly as I do.
Okay, I don't like this, but be safe. I have to get back to this dinner. Work. I can't.
I know. Get back. I'm sorry to bother you.
No. Don't ever apologize. You're not a bother ever. Well, not to me. Never to me. Look, I'll message you in the morning. I'll tell you my flights, okay? Please be safe.
I will.
Okay. I'll talk to you soon.
I'll talk to you soon.
I love you. And then he hangs up before you can respond.
William starts shaking. And then he throws his phone on the guest bed and starts crying. While also actively looking through the stuff to try to find anything about where Jeff could be. Because he's having a breakdown. And searching for Jeff is the only thing even vaguely holding him together.
It's a rough night for William. But eventually he probably does get some sleep. Next morning you get confirmation that Michael would be there in about 4 or 5 days. So 5 days. Because he's got to wait for the next weekend because he's got to finish out that work week, you know. It's kind of tricky. Short notice. It's during this week. I'm assuming that William jumps on his computer.
He does.
And these rolls have already been made, folks. As he gets on his computer and starts actively infiltrating MIT's database. Now, MIT is the educational facility It is where Dr. Kreuger's PhD is from. And over the course of the next couple of days, William somehow is able to basically bring up extreme doubt and bring Dr. Kreuger's academic integrity into line. And through keeping an eye on what's happening, he sees that she is now under active academic investigation and her PhD is in question. This is a 4 to 6 week process. However, you are also able to extricate yourself without being noticed. So you feel very secure in your knowledge that you got in, you got the job done, and you got out. So not only have you managed to actively really put Dr. Kreuger at a severe disadvantage at this point in time and potentially destroy her academic reputation. It's so easy just to remove a couple of lines, shift a few words in a thesis, make it look like plagiarism. But you've done so without being caught. You think she might be a little bit irritated at this. Again, however, you're left unsupervised. Michael did say don't do anything stupid, but you were left unsupervised.
In my defense, no one will ever know.
No. Because for once, you didn't get noticed. You get the feeling that your skills are starting to improve. If you could contact Grover, he would probably be proud. But he still hasn't resurfaced yet. Additionally, when Michael does arrive, he turns up. This is again about 5 days later. You're still slightly gloating at this. He arrives with an additional suitcase full of books because you had previously mentioned to Jeff, who had then told Michael, who you get the sense after a while, Jeff had been telling him everything anyway. That you needed extra books for a project you're working on. So, with a slightly emotional reunion with Michael, and you have quite a lovely next week or two working in the library where he comes and helps. Working side by side like you did back in the college days. Back in the good days. Before everything went to hell again. He helps you. And the pride that he feels in you could never be more evident. Even with the grumpy director, you finally start to build a name for yourself that isn't that of absolute chaos. Maybe messing with CC just sort of got that out of your system for a little bit. But even through all these amazing things that are happening, there's still that underlying ache. Something missing. You still don't know what happened to Jeff. It doesn't quite go away. Doesn't matter how many amazing dinners with Michael you get for that week. How satisfying it is to finally get that damn library organized. Still not right. And you get no information from the police. They don't find anything. Do you hand the note over to them?
No,
So they're
not
still
with not with his person of interest flaw. He wouldn't.
So they're still looking. During the week that Michael is there, though, he continually tries to convince you to come back home. Come back with him. This is chaos. You don't need to be here. I mean, I know. Look, we'll finish the library and we can leave. It'll be fine.
I can't. I'm a part of something bigger now. I can't explain. And if I did explain, you'd think I was crazy. One day it'll all make sense, Michael, I promise.
Well, I was hoping to get you on the plane with me tomorrow, but it looks like some things don't change. I thought maybe you'd move past this. I don't know if I can do this again, Will. I thought, when you called me, I thought I could. And you look and his bags are packed next to the door. You thought ready to leave tomorrow. And he reaches into his pocket. And he looks at you and he goes, "Is that really your answer?" Again.
You have no idea how much this hurts me.
Stop. Don't say anything else. I get it. And he walks to the door. And he sits something on the small table in the hallway. It's a box. I don't know if there can be a third time, Will. That's on you. And he just walks out. He leaves. Grabs his suitcase and he just starts to walk out the door. Do you say anything? Do you do anything?
He just says, "I love you too."
But it's not enough. He goes, he gets in the hire car and he leaves. I'm sure you can guess what it was he left behind.
William grabs the ring.
It was the engagement ring he was going to give you all those years ago.
William sits on the stairs in the foyer that lead up to the second floor, holds the ring, and he just again begins to cry.
He's been through a lot in the last couple of weeks. hopefully he can come through this. He does get a message from Michael telling him that he's landed safe. But not much else. He needs time. Yes. With that joyful, absolute well of emotions, at least you've got the library to throw yourself into to keep working on. And for all the chaos that exists in William's existence, Victor's world, on the complete flip side, has been remarkably stress-free. Mr. Hollow, our favourite barista, has been going to work, coming home, spending time with his sister, enjoying the summer after she got back from her trip. Look, the party was kind of chaotic, but Victor was like, I didn't have to shoot anybody. We're good. You know? Heads out to the shelter, gives a hand while Nick's away. Everyone's been kind of busy. You know? Going about his business. Just enjoying for the first time in a while. Relative calm. No stress. Nobody calls you for any chaos. Nobody drags you into any random situations. Just chill. Couple of weeks in, you decide to go and see Sally. You haven't seen her for a while? Why not? So you turn up. You turn up after work today? Or are you going to turn up before work or on a day off? Or how are you getting in contact with her this time?
The more practical for her, just to not have like too much work and not to be, cut short, let's say. I have a lot to talk.
Okay. She would probably let me tell you to turn up at about 4 o'clock. End of the day, she'll catch you then.
Yeah, he's going real slow, not so paranoid, especially because he's laying low.
Oh yeah.
And with all the shenanigans of all this gym, it was really easy to get low, to get under the radar of nothing.
So I am going to get you to give me a wits and awareness, however.
Of course. Well, wouldn't it be otherwise? Wits and awareness. Okay. Let me see. Four successes.
Okay. With 4 successes, you've gotten kind of used to lately sort of keeping an eye out. You haven't noticed any tails. You go past the museum, on your way to work or whatever. You haven't seen anything. And on this day, you see nothing out of the ordinary when you go to see Sally. You turn up at the funeral home. Ponder on in. Did you bring coffee today?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Awesome. So you walk on in, and the receptionist greets you warmly, as she always does. The new girl's sort of gotten used to seeing you every now and then when you turn up. And she lets you know that Sally's in her office at the moment. Not in the actual cold room, just in her office. And sort of shows you through, because you know where you're going.
Victor's going to just go.
As you get to the door, Sally actually greets you at the door with her jacket on, and she's got her bag on her. She's like, perfect timing. Oh, you bought coffee. I was thinking we could go and get an early bite to eat, maybe. I've finished work for the day, thank goodness.
I mean, Your call. I have the coffee right now, but we can go.
Well, we can always just... I have an idea. You know what we can do? Go down to the foreshore and just sit down and relax. It's lovely and warm this afternoon, so we might as well.
Does she seems bizarre, weird in any way, or just she's really like
What's an insight?
sincere in this?
What's an insight?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Come on, dice. Three successes.
Okay. She seems her normal self. She seems genuine. She just she's finished work and she wants to go and relax outside of work. Nothing suspicious, nothing out of the ordinary. She's just chill.
Victor wasn't like super paranoid and being in this situation. It's just maybe something a bit weird or something like that. But okay. Well, my car is just here, so let's go.
Oh, fantastic. Can I follow you so I can bring my car with me? Or babe, you follow me. That might be easier. Hold on, there we are. All right, how about you follow me? That'll be easier because I want to I need to be able to get home afterwards. So yeah, you follow me?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. All right. Cool. And she sort of goes out and she's got a lovely little blue hatchback. It's like a little blue Honda hatchback. She's like,
okay,
follow me. And she hops in her car. She drives quite well. And sort of leads you down to the foreshore. So where the museum itself is, there's actually like the foreshore on the river. And there's places you can go and sit and park and just sort of enjoy. And she leads you down there. And sort of parks, and once you meet her there, there's a bench and table there, sort of where people sometimes come and sit and picnic, and she's come sit over here. A bit nicer than sitting in the office all the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I mean, I've been pretty busy, so yeah, I'm could use some fresh air.
100%. Yeah, it's not good to stay locked up in a house all the time, you know, or in a room or an office or a morgue, really. And it is an absolutely beautiful day. So it's summer, it's lovely, it's warm. There's a few mosquitoes out, but, you know, nothing too bad. And at this time of day, there's not a lot of people out yet. A lot of people will come out closer towards sort of 5:30 when they finish work and maybe walking pets and things like that. So it's relatively quiet. A few people walk past on the foreshore, but nothing, not massive amounts. And she sort of sits down across from you on the bench and says, so, how's it been going? Did you ever sort that out with Lily? All that nonsense that was going on?
Yeah, I've made some real progress. Spend a lot of time with her.
Good.
She's here, you know, for the holidays and stuff like that. So.
Nice. Did you go and check
I
out
knew.
the museum down south? There's a few really nice ones down there, and it's a beautiful art gallery up in St. Pete, and some beautiful things around to go and look at.
I mean, why not? It's not the end of the holidays yet, but yeah, why not? I'm trying to, you know, just lay low.
Yeah, what? You mentioned something? What happened? What's going on? How's it? How's the team?
I think one of... how to explain that? Something was really weird last time I really saw them together.
Oh. Is everyone okay?
Yeah, I don't know for sure, but you know, when they are in real trouble, they are probably, you know, let us know for in the shit behind them,
Okay.
as always.
What happened?
Um, uh, you know what? I'm surprised you don't know. Actually, you are pretty, on point with news and stuff like that. It's weird. It's going to pass your radar.
I heard there was an incident that occurred at Dr. Barnett's
I knew
house.
it. Yeah.
I
Yep.
don't know what happened. That's why I'm asking you. Because I sort of took a bit of a guess that you would be there. And that's probably why you wanted to talk to me. Oh, I've also
Well,
got
just
something for you
jot
too
to-
after that. And she sort of gestured.
Yeah,
to
me
a bag.
too,
I've got something for
actually.
you. So it's okay. Tell me.
I was here just to make sure everything was alright.
Mm-hmm.
Not a real big fan of fancy parties like that.
Shut
A lot
up.
of how to say extroverts, maybe people were there.
Yeah, not really your style, but I can appreciate you're there to support William. That's pretty cool. It's good.
Something went wrong. I think William gets annoyed by Dr. Kreuger at some point.
Oh, that's not.
I heard yelling,
Oh.
and everything went really wrong. Like really, really wrong. Like everybody started walking out of the building for no reason. Someone disappeared.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm going to give my point of view. Okay, I don't have a fucking clue what happened, and I don't really care that much. But everybody gets out of the building. An helicopter from the news gets here,
Okay.
like above the estate,
Yeah.
and a lot of people in black suit came in front porch and asking questions to Emory and stuff.
Okay.
And at this point, I think Dr. Kreuger left. That was really weird. Like
Okay.
100% weird. I don't know what happened.
She doesn't do gatherings.
Maybe-
I'm surprised she was even there.
I don't know. Maybe William was caught again by leaking something on the internet. I don't know. Last time his computer fried, so like in front of us.
Wow. I'm
I'm sorry.
That's a lot. I mean, I've had a party
Yeah.
going wrong, but usually it's someone gets too drunk. Cece and William having... I thought they were academics.
Yeah, I mean, they seems to be okay with each other.
Oh,
I don't know. That was weird. And maybe I don't know the full picture and the full story. No one actually told me what happened. So until I got to shoot something,
that explains why she's not talking to anybody at the moment. I contacted her for some research last week and she refused to speak to me and wouldn't even
That's-
help me out. So, yeah.
That's
makes
why
sense. Okay.
I warned them about, being nice and having a little bit of professional, stance towards employers. So I'm not surprised.
Look, I don't even begin to try and think about what on earth goes on in that girl's head. She's interesting and definitely would be fun to fully get to know on profile, but I think I'm a little bit scared too, if that makes sense. I don't really want to get that close to her. We have
I'm just
known each other professionally. Sort of why I call her.
Oh.
But yeah.
I'm just glad she's on our side.
Yeah.
That's it.
same. To be honest, I don't think I'd want to come up against her in a hurry. She doesn't seem like, stable, really, is the word that comes to mind. Doesn't seem stable.
You think so? I didn't have this impression. She's a lot.
Yeah, she is a lot.
But I mean that was my first boss. So I guess in this line of work. Anyway, I'm going to need a favor, Sally. I'm not very discreet when searching for stuff. Okay, so I need help.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that possible?
Well, it depends on what you're searching for. You'd already asked me to look into some stuff for your family for you.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Which I might have some help for you. And she reaches into her bag and pulls out a folder and slides it across and goes, look, just do me a favor.
Yeah.
Wait till you get home to go through some of this. Some heavy stuff in here. Some of the reports about your family and your dad. So please make sure that you are somewhere where you have time to process this.
Okay.
Some of the reports and stuff you might not have seen before, because it's my end of things.
I don't know what to say. Thank you. That's when everything that happened, I didn't have like a fucking sheet of papers of what happened. So that's a lot, Sally. Like,
it's not as much as I'd like. It's the police reports. It's basic information. I couldn't find anything on your mum, but I found what I could. It's something, and I thought that's better. And I'm still going to keep looking. I promise. I'll try to find more. What happened still doesn't sit right, It's still not right, and I want to know what happened for you,
The thing is I would research it myself. I've been questioned multiple times when I try to peruse and stuff.
Unfortunately, you sort of stand out like a sore thumb in academic situations. You look more muscled.
I can look like an academic. Come on.
She looks you up and down and it's just like, with those muscles? No.
You would be surprised. Come on.
Look, as someone who spent a lot of time around the books, you really don't fit the type. Don't get me wrong, I'm not one to stereotype, but profiling exists for a reason.
Okay. I'll leave it.
Yeah. And look, you scream military. You walk, you talk, you make coffee like it's an assignment. Like, come on. That's why your coffee's so good. You learned the right way to do it and you stuck to it.
Come on.
To do the kind of academic research that I do, or even, William, when he gets there, takes the ability to think outside the box, not think within orders. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm trying to get used to that. It's not easy.
Yeah, no, I can understand that.
Two news for you.
Yeah, what?
I might be a military, but I've been taking some class to actually, get better at stuff. Chemical stuff.
Okay.
You don't have to be so surprised. Come on.
Oh, well, look, come on. Like, really, I'm a little bit concerned about you working with chemicals.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I've met William, and you work with him.
Don't worry. I'm doing that on my on my free time.
Okay. Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're pursuing an education it's interesting. It's good. Oh, how's Lily going with college and uni and everything? She going well?
I think she's doing good. Maybe a bit whiny now and there, but
Okay. Well,
she's making friends and his boyfriend, that stuff.
Oh, how are you coping with that one now? Are we getting better?
I don't know. He's really weird. Yeah. The bad vibes, but I cannot prevent everything happening
Is it
to her.
bad vibes or is it protective big brother?
I mean, he nearly got into a confrontation with Emory and his sister. So, well,
Okay. All right. Well, look. And she just sort of starts completely just chuckling at you. Like, really? I have an older brother. Okay, I understand where Lily's at. He used to be similar to you. Now, he leaves me be.
Oh, I didn't know that.
We're better friends now. We get along better now.
He's around?
Not local, but we talk a little bit, so it's good. But
that's
it's
good.
still very different. We all go through different changes in our lives,
Yeah.
And the support from our family when we go through those changes are really important. And sometimes our family doesn't want us to go through that sort of metamorphosis, for lack of a better term. But as we do,
That's why
we need that support. It's so important.
That's why I need your help or something.
Okay.
Some bad habits I had,
Do you need me to
I
get
need
you
to find
rehab?
someone.
I'm sorry, what?
Come on. Yeah. I have unfinished business with a certain fellow.
Oh, for a second there, I thought you were going to ask me to set you up a dating profile. I said,
No, come on. No,
Oh.
come on. Especially not now. What the fuck?
I don't know. So who is it that you're looking for then?
Frankie DeLuca.
What? Why do you need to find him?
Let's say he took something from us.
What did he take?
I don't like, unfinished business. He's gone off the city, maybe in a different part of town that he was here.
What did he take?
I need to find him again.
What did he take?
It's military plates of Emory.
Oh.
I want him dead. It's not don't worry, you don't have to do anything else than just telling me
I
where
don't
he is.
think you should be talking like... She sort of looks around. It's like, oh, Victor, this isn't the army. You can't just go and kill somebody. No.
He is not somebody.
Oh,
I'm counting on you, Sally. Sorry. I have to protect everyone, even from themselves.
I'll think. It's a lot. Victor, I'll think about it.
I know.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, look. I'll think about
He's
it.
gone. Sally, He's gone very close to us. I don't know how much he knows. I don't want to see you hurt because of that, because of our mistake someday. Okay?
Okay.
I know you can defend yourself. I just don't want to be my fault.
All right. Well, and you see she sort of shut down a little bit and she's sort of pulling back. All right, look, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah. Everything is better than I can find, you know.
Okay. Well, look, either way, and she puts the envelope in front of you. It's like, look, make sure you take this home. Don't let Lily get her hands on it. Won't be good for her.
It really means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all good. Okay, well look, I should probably go.
Yeah,
It's getting late.
I understand. Yeah.
Perhaps don't come round for a bit unless you call first, please.
Yeah, sure.
Cool. You're still going to therapy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Best thing you could have done. All right. Thanks for the coffee, Victor.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need your favor now. You have a favor from me. And he's going to tap the envelope.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Be safe, Victor. Okay? Be safe. And she sort of walks off and looks over her shoulder at you. Kind of odd before she gets in her car and drives off. Sort of gives you something to think about for the next couple of weeks. Do you wait to get home to look in the envelope?
Yeah, he's going to get into the workshop of Emory and him.
Yep.
To be sure nobody else is going to interrupt that.
Yep.
He's going to, after maybe workshopping with stuff and taking his hand on the envelope and read it out loud.
So, contained within the envelope are the... Hold on. My internet. Contained within the envelope are the crime scene photos from the day he got home. It's the house that you grew up in, turned upside down.
Going to take a moment, especially with it's been some times.
Yeah. It's the death certificate for your father. It's all of the police reports surrounding the entire disappearance. It's the missing persons report on your mother, who still hasn't been found. It's the legal adoption paperwork as you took over the guardianship of your sister. It's the child protection reports on you, stating that you are slightly unstable from your years spent in service, but you are the best option for your sister. It's the evidence of the support you turned down because you didn't feel like you and Lily needed it. It's one particular detective has continued to look in and has continued checked in to keep an eye on. Just keep an eye on the case. But the name's been redacted. You do not get the detective's name. Sally's removed it. Maybe it was her. Maybe it was someone else. But it's more than you've ever gotten on the entire situation. Now, I need you, please, to make me an intelligence awareness roll. Because within the photos, I just want you to see what you see when you're going over everything.
Seven successes with a crit.
Oh, damn. So, going over all of the photographs, you see some very disturbing details. Some things just don't sit quite right. It's like someone cropped part of a photo, so you're not getting the whole image. And you can see, but it wasn't quite right. You can see in a reflection of a mirror on the other side of the room, a blurred face and a blurred image of somebody who was there present whilst the investigation was being concluded and the photos were being done. The figure is slightly familiar. It looks a lot like Nick. You can't 100% tell. It's not a definitive. The hair's different. This was a few years ago. But it's in the last photo that states it was after the cleanup. Just taking reference photos of the room. It's a mistake that someone wouldn't normally make, so you're quite lucky to catch it. And it's, again, it's not super clear. You could be wrong. Why would Nick be there? But I'm going to leave Victor to ponder that thought. And we're going to take a break, people. When we come back, the team will be meeting up for the first time in almost a month. With a lot of things to talk about. So go and stretch your bodies, move your bodies, grab a drink, have a bio. Talk soon!
St. Petersburg by Night is brought to you through collaboration with our partnered vendors, Wolfpack Dice, Ember Fox Dice, Dragon Ink Dice, Barra the Bard, Champs Tramps, Panchi Artista, and Chromatic Creations. Links to our partnered vendors, as well as our Twitch and YouTube channels, can be found on our website, stpetbynight.com. The official theme song for St. Petersburg by Night is Vampire by Faith and Failure. You can find them at faithandfailure.com. You can follow SPbN on all socials with the hashtag StPeteByNight. If you wish to support our program, you can do so at ko-fi.com/StPeteByNight to help keep the stories rolling.
Welcome back, everybody. Hopefully you moved your bodies and got a good old wriggle out during the break. Make sure you got some water ready to settle in and see what kind of chaos is coming from all of those massive revelations from before the break. We're going to step into current time for us, which is the end of July here. It's been 3-4 weeks since a lot of the team have seen each other. Some have caught up, obviously, Ella and Emory, during this time. Ella giving William a hand with a few things early on. But it's been a while since everybody's convened at the museum. You've all gotten a message from Robert. It's been quite a while. It would be good to see you all soon. And almost as if by old routine, everybody agrees to meet up on the Monday. William, you come on in. It's been a few weeks. I mean, you've been talking to Holly, the director of the museum, obviously, over your time, and there's still work there, but it's been by the wayside while you've been processing and dealing with everything. But you turn up first. Robert is not there. But he has left a couple of books on your desk for you that appear to be new ones. And a small note that says, found these over the last few weeks, thought you might enjoy them. Books
William's going to... Oh, sorry.
So they're just books relating to your more recent research. That's all.
William's going to flip through them rather quickly. He's not really a speed reader. Like, he reads quickly, but he obviously can't read them all in one sitting. But just like, you know, skimming a few of the chapters, seeing what they're basically all about before he puts them back down and sits behind his computer, starts, you know, preparing to do whatever passes for work for him in the museum regularly.
Checking in on emails for research grants. Few have been failed research grants as of late because you haven't gotten them in by the deadline because you've been busy. Not a big deal. There is one from Dr. Kreuger. Whether or not you want to put any focus on that is up to you.
He's going to put Dr. Kreuger on the not trusted, do not open any attachments list before he opens the email.
Okay, so you are going to open the email though?
Yeah, he's just putting it behind a firewall first.
Okay. One moment, please. Because thanks to the joys of everything, I need to open it this way. Of course, my phone's being problematic. I'm going to pause this right here, one moment. So the letter reads as such. To the email. To the individuals known as Miss Ella Gaines, Miss Emory Gaines, Mr. Nicholas Flynn, Mr. Victor Hollow, and Mr. William Barnette. I am writing to you to express my displeasure and disappointment in the contents of the binder that you turned over to me. It appears that your group are clearly not professionals, as you did not bother to vet or validate any of the contents for tampering or altering. The research that I've begun utilizing the contents of the binder have resulted in disastrous results. This leads me to indicate that the undesirable individual that you acquired this from has pulled the proverbial wool over all of your eyes. Because of your carelessness and negligence, months of vital research have been put on hold, and any benefits I can provide to individuals such as yourselves are now useless. I do not care to delay my research any more than it has been due to these irritating developments, so this is what I am proposing. I require you to bring in the individual that you acquired this binder from, alive. I expect this individual to be brought into my custody within the next 60 days. I'm sure you're wondering why we would do this. I'll be happy to answer that for you in simple terms. You work for me, and you work for Sable. When I wired the remaining funds to you, you electronically signed a contract for the funds, which included agreement to work for Sable, with myself as your direct means of contact to the company. for a disclosed amount of time. Should you breach this contract, you can expect individual fines upward of twice the amount I hired you for, and anywhere from 5 to 10 years incarceration in a state prison for breach of contract. I would prefer that this not have to go through the judicial system, as I find it mind-numbingly tedious and time-consuming. So I recommend that you do as I have requested and bring in the individual, again, alive. Should the individual lose a few limbs in your acquisition of him, that is fine. I expect that they won't be easy to bring in without a fight and some injury. Please only contact me again when you have the individual in your possession, as I am currently otherwise occupied with something tedious that unfortunately requires my full attention. I hope to hear from you soon, Dr. Cecelia Kreuger.
William's just going to start laughing.
It's at about this time that Nick would walk in.
Hey, Dr. Barnette, how you doing?
Apparently we signed a contract with Dr. Kreuger when we accepted those funds.
Isn't that illegal?
There's a variety of things that are illegal about what she did, not a least of which being that allegedly we signed a contract to kidnap someone, which makes the contract null and void, because no contract can be made under which illegal pretenses are supposed to be done. Dr. Kreuger's grasping at straws.
Save that email. I'm assuming that's what you're looking at, where she sent that.
Oh, I've already archived it, and I plan on taking this to the judicial courts.
Can we make a print copy in case the email disappears? Print it out, William.
Of course.
So, Nick, as the individual who signed the contract, because you were the one that signed for the transfer of funds.
Correct.
You didn't read the contract before you signed it. And that was something that I checked with you about. I said, you stop and read it? And you went, no, I'm just going to sign it. So it is highly likely that there was fine print and other inclusions in that contract.
Shit. And Nick mutters that under his breath. The issue is, at this point, William, she's asking us to do something illegal.
That's where the contract becomes null and void. But we were going to do it anyways, so.
I mean, that is true. That is true. I mean, at that point, we might as well, it, I suppose.
Quite honestly, I don't care for Dr. Kreuger. I
Oh,
don't
thank
care.
God. I don't like her either.
This little scheme that she's developed with this contract shows that she is desperate. And quite honestly, ethically unsound.
Is that about that time that Ella and Emory walk in to the ethically unsound comment?
What's ethically unsound?
Dr. Kreuger,
I could have fucking told you that weeks ago. Are we all on board with? Are we all on board with hating this bitch because I hate this bitch?
I thought you liked her.
Wrong sister.
Yeah, no. If you're referring to which one of us was flirting with her, that would be my dumbass sister.
I didn't call you a dumbass. That was not me, Emory. Just remember that. That was Ella.
I appreciate that, Nick.
She is a very pretty woman. I can't fault you for that.
I would never call you that to your face.
And I appreciate you for that.
Well, how have you all been?
Terrible!
Out of character, did we all hear about the Jeremy? Not
Jeff.
Jeremy. Jeff! Too many
Yes.
J names.
You possibly would have, yes.
I'm gonna
guess-
ask Chandler directly. Would William have said anything to Nick?
No. William would
Then
not
he
have said
wouldn't have.
anything to anyone
Other than
Except Ella.
other than Ella.
Okay.
William has been radio silent.
What's going on with you, Will?
I'm guessing that situation we were working on hasn't improved.
Well, I found this letter on my door with Jeff's handwriting that said, "Stop looking for me, you're making things worse." And then I turned around and, I called my ex because I missed him and because I needed help finding Jeff and I needed help to get through this. And then he came down and then I think I got broken up with again.
Victor? You opened the door to that.
He's just going to close the door behind him, not saying anything.
Could you have gotten broken up with again if you were never dating for the second time?
Were you dating the second time? I'm so confused.
Oh, that's sweet if you were. I'm sorry you got broken up with.
Well, no, but he left the ring on like he left the ring next to the door that he was gonna propose to me with, and then ages ago, and then it's all complicated. I'm not gonna get into it.
I mean,
Needless.
it's
Yes, go
safer
on,
that
sorry.
way, right?
I'm starting to think maybe not.
I mean,
It sounds like you royally committed a blunder there, because he clearly still had feelings for you.
are you under any radar these times, William?
Anyway, Ella, Emory, how has your summer vacation been?
Well, I went back to boot camp for a bit.
No way.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped your traumatic issues how?
Well, I mean, they do have a therapy program there, so that does help a little bit. But no, I found some help with some of our monster hunting issues.
You have to tell me that.
I absolutely
You
will.
have to.
I'm concerned and conflicted.
I mean, she left me unsupervised for a week. You should be concerned.
Jesus Christ.
How is Lena?
You done?
I haven't done anything.
How is Lena, by the way?
She's good. I actually had the chance to take her on a proper date, so that was nice.
No,
She-
I'm glad to hear
she-
it.
You sure she doesn't recall anything?
If she recalls anything, she's very, very good at hiding it.
Okay. Sorry to pry. Just bad habit. Yeah.
How have
No,
you
it's
been,
okay.
Victor?
Oh, I'm great. It was a great holiday.
Do anything fun?
Aside from workshopping, maybe 2-3 ideas with my buddy pal. He's looking at Emory, seeing that. Not really, actually. It's been really quiet. Maybe too much since the incident at the party. Maybe laying low was a good idea after all. Was weird, right?
It was.
It felt like someone triggered something.
You
Gee, I
have
wonder who
any
that was.
idea? Yeah, it was weird, especially with the every guest like leaving in a hurry.
I mean, I get kind of why they left. If it's the press that's,
No.
bearing
It
over
was
a bunch of people.
before. If you recall, they actually left like minutes before everything went down.
They
It
did?
was
I didn't notice that.
like in an instant they were here and they were gone. Like
They did clear out pretty quick.
Granny is really quick.
That woman is scary.
Speaking of
yeah.
which, I went and finished our conversation from the party when I got back from Ireland.
Anything interesting?
Victor, I have a question.
Yep.
How much in the know about what we do is Sally?
Wow. Okay, that's a question.
Yes, it is.
She knows a lot. I think she knows more than me, actually. Like, it was the first person who actually, not thinking I was crazy when I saw weird stuff, she's like, she has always good contact with everybody. And I don't know why or how, but it's her private life, so didn't pry too much.
So she's probably in the know then.
Yeah, like she told me a lot as well. So yeah, I hope she's.
Then I'd say it's a good chance, yeah.
Yeah, it would be weird. She tells me everything without knowing.
Interesting.
Did you talk to Granny about Sally?
Interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
By the way,
vague.
it's Vogue. It's a magazine, I think.
Nick lets out an audible chuckle at that.
I said vague, but if you heard Vogue, I can't help you.
No, you know.
Strike a pose.
By the
I-
way, Nick, I recall you told me something. I think when you joined the cell, I was curious. How did you get your first work as a cleaner? Yeah, I think you said that, right?
Yeah, I cleaned up messes when things went sideways. Why?
I mean, I was thinking, asking Sally stuff and stuff, and I didn't really actually understood how you came in this life, like, and actually get work done for somebody, because it was a lot for me.
Sheer dumb luck. Really
No
and
way.
truly. I happened to meet someone who still works from time to time in the business, as it were. And at this point, Nick is making a point to walk into the actual cell haven, because he's like, I don't mind sharing this, but I'm not going to say it in the office. So if anyone follows him, they're more than welcome to.
Victor is going to follow, just to hear your response, your answer.
And I met my contact. He gave me some work to do, and that was that. Never really thought to ask who he worked for, which now I'm starting to regret that more and more, so I probably need to make a phone call.
I mean, it wouldn't make any difference, right?
Oh, it makes a ton of difference, supposedly.
No way. What do you mean by that?
Sorry, Cole's reaction broke me. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean, from my understanding, I've never been much for the organizations that are around. No offense, William. However, I have noticed between William and Robert, it seems like everyone has different ways of getting the same shit done. So it does make a difference.
Yeah, I
Different.
didn't know before here.
Yes,
Organization.
but you're also like new, right? Last couple of years?
A bit new. I think I'm newer than you, but
I mean, technically, I've been cleaning up messes from accidents, if you will, for like a decade, but I've only recently started actually hunting with you guys. Which was what part of me and Granny talked about, how she thought it was weird that I just somehow ended up in a city with you lot.
Okay.
Why is
By
that?
the way, what was the name of your contact? I mean, we can encounter it at some point. He's still in
His
contact
name's
with
Jack. Yeah, he was the one who got me the earpieces.
you? No way! Oh, that's so cool.
What were you saying, William?
Why is it odd that you came and met with all of us? It just seems like it was just something that happened. There's no special connection or anything like that.
I mean,
William,
we are discreet.
you're a part of an organization, right? Of monster hunting gentlemen.
The Arcanum does not exactly hunt monsters, but go on.
Yeah, I
Flynn.
saw that.
Anyway, my point being is, I wouldn't be surprised if someone was pulling the strings to end up making sure I ended up here when that mannequin vampire thing was around.
And who would be pulling the strings of this grand conspiracy?
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I mean, you were a cleaner before, so why you then?
That I don't know yet. But I intend to find out because it's quite interesting. Quite frankly, I like you all, so I mean, I'm going to stick around, but I would like to know if we're being puppeted by someone with ulterior motives. I'd at least like to know what the fuck is going on. And to be honest, it very well could be nothing, William. It could have just been sheer dumb luck and fate. However, I don't trust it.
I don't either. I was just saying, you know.
I mean,
So, just something to think about, Victor.
Montana is a long way from here, isn't it?
Hmm? Nick kind of tilts his head. Like he is genuinely confused.
It would be like a long shot.
I have no clue what you're talking about, Victor.
I mean,
Legitimately.
if someone was actually, I'm going with your conspiracy theory right now, but it will be like years of preparation, and we were like apart from all of us. Like I was in Montana. You were, I don't know. To be fair.
If I'm not mistaken, I'm the oldest one here, right? I'm almost 40. Are any of you older than me?
No.
William, your family has been tied to the Arcanum, have they not?
For generations, yes.
Okay. And for sake of argument, this is not me pointing the finger at Robert, but just for sake of argument, how old is he?
I don't know. Ancient, like 430 something.
Well, shit.
Are you sure about that, Dr. Barnette?
I don't know. He's probably like, I don't know, mid 60s, upper 60s.
What is Robert's appearance like? What does he look like?
I mean, he looked fine with Granny at the soiree, right? At a little party.
That's a big word for Victor. Sorry. That was... Nope, that was a vocal stim. I am so sorry. I just had to.
Robert looks to be mid to late 60s.
Okay.
So, hypothetically speaking, I forgot who actually... Nick is just like, whoever said the thing about this being a long game, I mean, there are certainly people old enough, Victor, who would be in the business to be around and have influence to puppeteer some strings.
Hello, Emory. Please give me, can we call either intelligence or wits, and awareness or insight. Please let me know which one you choose.
I'll do intelligence awareness.
Okay.
I'm gonna do. Said we can choose any of those, right?
Yep, either intelligence or wits, or, and then insight or awareness. Take your choice.
Would my insight specialty apply here or no?
No.
Okay, so I'm gonna do wits and awareness.
Five on a crit.
I'm gonna use a willpower.
Okay.
I'm glad I did that. 7 on a crit.
For what did you do? Intelligence?
I did wits and awareness.
Dear Lord, you two.
I have a theory.
Listening to all of this, and the time that Ella spent with Uncle Brian on the hunt, and that Emory and Ella both spent around their uncle before their dad went missing. You've heard them talk about orgs, organizations, groups, usually as scumbags. Usually as a way to make a quick buck, because they get in, get the job done, get out. Orgs don't usually care about what hunters go where if you're not a part of them. Nick and Victor have never mentioned being part of an organization. It'd be kind of weird for an org to pull them in if they weren't a part of it. Because you both got the crit, Emory, the only org you've really had anything to do with has been Monster X. They wouldn't bother. I mean, don't get me wrong, they take care of Dave, they take care of some people that they've hired. But everything that you saw, if you weren't an employee, they didn't care. And even then, if you couldn't talk, they didn't care. They took care of Dave because he could talk. Ella, on your 7 with a crit on wits and awareness. There are a lot of different things over the last couple of months that haven't made sense. There is something tickling the back of your brain about all of this situation that is not quite going away. Everything is too interconnected for everything you know about organizations. There is only one outlying in your entire last 9 months together. 6 months with Nick. Frankie. He's the only one that doesn't fit into everything that you have heard, everything that you've seen. He didn't act the way a lot of other people have. There's never been a connection to anything for Frankie. What made him different? Last Celestina, you got the job through? Who'd you get the job through?
Was that Dr. Kreuger?
Yep. Who connected you to Dr. Kreuger?
Robert.
Robert did.
Sally.
Oh, Sally did.
Let's go.
But Robert knows them too. Frankie is the only outlier that doesn't have a connection. That's what I'm giving you from those 2 roles with everything you're hearing. Enjoy. So while you're listening to them talk, this is what both of you, being quiet, sometimes listening, is an amazing thing. It's odd for the sisters to be this quiet too. So it's different.
Ella's just got this look of like deep concentration on her face.
Well, the job with Kreuger is done, so.
He kind of looks over to Ella and Emory. Deep in thought, care to share?
She's just gonna look at Emory first.
With everyone being so connected to one another in this weird fate of some form, there is the outlier of Frankie, and I question why he's so important in all of this.
this point, because Nick was not here for the La Celestina stuff, he was not there for them getting the mission. Do we have a whiteboard in here somewhere, like a rolly whiteboard? Nick can
Cold?
grab a marker and start writing.
Yes.
So he's going
Yeah, cold
to
ball, man.
ask everyone who had been here, "Who did you get the La Celestina job from?"
Kreuger.
No,
Kreuger.
actually, it was Sally.
It was Sally.
Yeah.
Sally. Okay. And he is actually forming a relationship map. So he's going to kind of go through and ask who everyone is connected to and how they know each other if applicable. And form this very intricate and detailed web of relationships. And then he looks at it. He's like, dash Frankie. And then he thinks about what Granny said about how the dead don't always stay dead. And then something kind of clicks. And Nick looks angry.
I
What's on your mind?
don't get it.
Are we sure Frankie hasn't been running this show the whole time?
He'd have to have been working with someone on this board.
It's
I will,
making no sense. I mean, have any relation with that? I mean,
I will remind you of something Frankie said during the meeting at the arcade. He looked at you all that were there and said to you, he told you he was not lying. And he said that eventually he's the one that's not lying and who else is lying. Remember what he put forward to you? He said, should you ever want to work with someone who's not going to basically bullshit you? Because he thought that everyone else was. He also offered to work with you to take down bigger things in the area than just him.
Frankie's the only one who's been honest with us.
how can we be sure?
Dr. Kreuger convinced us to sign a contract under duress so that way we'd effectively be her slaves for the time being.
What?
What contract?
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
The contract that Nicholas signed
What?
You mean to get the money?
to get the money.
There was a contract.
There was.
What fucking contract? What are we supposed to be doing?
Did William print out the email?
William didn't print out the email, but it's about this time he'd hit a button and the email would pop up on everyone's emails in their phones. Now, technically speaking, she has demanded us to kidnap an individual through the use of this contract, which renders the contract null and void, technically. Because under U.S. contract law, it is impossible to order someone to do something that is illegal or against public policy, which means also illegal. And kidnapping, last I checked, is a felony. So,
It is indeed.
technically speaking, by sending this email, she has rendered her own contract null and void.
You should probably get your lawyer to check that just in case.
Well, we don't have the contract now, do we? And she has not provided us with a copy of the contract. Another issue that we were provided when we signed it, but she has not provided it to us past that point, which is, again, another legal issue. And I have a feeling if we request it, she's not going to just give it to us. She's going to give us the runaround.
We can still ask.
We can.
It's always the pretty ones, isn't it?
So she's Who is she
Really
requesting
wants
that
him gone.
we take?
Frankie.
But she has the binder.
Apparently, it was a bunch of hogwash.
I mean,
And
told you?
I mean, I looked at it. I could have told you that.
Wasn't the original... The payment was for that binder.
We gave her the fucking binder.
We did our part of that job.
Just because she can't do shit with it doesn't mean it's our fault.
I mean, it's still an occasion to finish him. For good. Last time I checked, he also kidnapped you.
Yeah, but he did have some convincing arguments.
What do you mean?
Through the conversations that I had with him, it was a lot of personal jargon. A lot of, you don't know who I am, you're just assuming, you're just a fucking killer, blah, 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 blah. It's very human of him for being a monster. Very confusing that he was acting that way.
But he's a vampire. We saw him.
But is he? Because he walks in the day, and from our research, that's not common.
It's not
No,
common, but it's possible.
It's not impossible. Yeah, thank you.
No, but if there's a different version of these types of things, maybe they have different thinkings.
He choked you in front of everybody. He kidnapped you. What do you want more?
He did those things in arguable self-defense. We were coming after him with the intent to kill.
And
I mean,
it was
he's a
because
monster
of
after all.
Dr. Kreuger.
We were being played for fools, and still are.
Mm-hmm.
And so long as we keep giving in to Dr. Kreuger, she'll keep playing us as pawns. So we need to find a way to appease her for now, while we work to remove her as a threat moving forward.
By the way, what did you do, guys, about Dr. Kreuger? Sally told me she was, like, really pissed. Like, I don't have any message, so I assume you have something to do with it?
Well, it seems to me she says that she has something busy going on. She's got some sort of something that's tedious going on, and then this binder fiasco seems to have happened. I think she's just stressed.
That's why you yelled at her at the party?
I yelled at her at the party because I saw through her bullshit. Because she's not as good a liar as she thinks that she is.
How long did I say she was giving us bullshit?
I mean, to be fair, I was agreeing with you the whole time, Ella.
She walked into the room and gave me bad vibes.
I hate to
What
say
did
it,
she
she's
say?
a little bit crazy.
She said, and forgive me if I forget, she said something to the effect of, well, I challenged her that she wasn't doing her own work, but she was also giving us things that we weren't doing. I challenged her that she could do her own work, and she often was found doing her own work, and then she was using us to go after targets that she felt were designed to kill us, almost custom made to kill us, it seemed. Though now I think it's just threats that she felt could kill her.
Or, what if it's a little column A and a little column B, William?
It's most likely. Get rid of one set of threats and potentially get rid of another set. Either way, a set of threats is gone.
So it would make sense to me that if a rogue hunter cell with very little affiliations with organizations, from my understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, William, the Arcana more is like their research is more book learning and not scientific research.
I don't know what you mean by that.
As in, it's compiling the information and not really doing field studies, so to speak. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a part of it. That's why I'm asking.
The
Well,
thing
it
is,
depends
how
on
she know it's bullshit, the binder we gave her? I'm sorry, William. Just saying out loud that.
Well, she must have had some way to test it, but there was no way she could have tested it by our means. We can't do anything with that.
Yeah,
I mean, if we could
I
do
mean,
stuff like that, that's
you did a
lot
copy,
of
right?
magic. Yeah, I made a copy. Actually, I have it on
And-
the bookshelf.
So did it seem real to you? Like it redacted?
From my understandings of ancient alchemy processes and Renaissance alchemy processes, that was a dumpster fire. I would like to talk to Frankie and give him the binder back just to see him actually whip something up in front of me with it. But that brings me to another question then that I have. How is she going to accurately test it if she doesn't already have one of the things that Frankie is? Because that seems a very specific skill set.
That means she probably does have one of those things that Frankie is. If it's not doing anything on its own, or maybe that's the reason why it fails, that she doesn't.
If she already has a live fucking specimen that she's wanted, why the fuck does she want Frankie?
I mean, to be fair,
Magic
it's generous.
One of the things about like ritual in paganism and sort of the path that I follow. Yes, there are rituals that are commonplace that everybody does and can draw power from, right, Ella?
Mm-hmm.
However, some practitioners have their own rituals and rites and spells that they do that they're the only ones who can make it work.
So that's why she wants Frankie, because he's the only one to cast your spells in the binder, maybe?
He's gonna go grab the binder off the shelf and show it to Victor. Gasoline, man! Drugs! This is so particular.
Semen.
Can I
Semen, spit, blood, all variants of bodily fluids, strange acids, all sorts of things.
can I ascertain by looking at it if there is traces of being redacted, like changed at the last moment on the page?
Give me a wits and awareness? Because this is also Nick's copy of it.
Yeah. I'm going to reroll that. Seventh with a crit.
So, from memory, this was a photocopy or was it a handwritten copy? Because I remember William
Yeah, it was a
saying...
photocopy.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a photocopy.
So the binder itself, all of the photocopies, so you're looking at a photocopy of it, you don't have the original. Everything that you're looking doesn't look like it's been redacted. It doesn't look like it's been changed. But the entire thing, which it looks like it was written freshly to be given to you guys. It wasn't messy. It didn't look like a work in progress. It looked like it was written and then handed to you guys.
Nick. It's fresh. He made that for us.
That
It's not the ring biter.
sleazy motherfucker.
So they
Look, those inks here. Like,
So he wrote this so there would be disastrous results if someone could replicate it.
Good
he
for
just
him.
wants to fuck with us.
Maybe not with us, but with her.
I
He was
don't.
probably just protecting his assets. But I think what's probably best for us right now is to cut both losses. Tell Dr. Kreuger we're not gonna fucking do that. And leave Frankie the fuck alone for now.
Wait.
Can't just tell
Well-
her no. We don't want to get caught up in court issues, do we?
Why not?
And to be fair, I kind of want the revenge on this fucking motherfucker.
Well, the process of Frankie can be done further down the line, but Dr. Kreuger has no hold on us. We did our end of the bargain of our contract. Yes, the signature for the funds must have created a different contract. I haven't read that contract, but that was under false pretenses, which can be fought legally in court.
Nick
Two
is
things.
printing off a copy of the email that was sent to Dr. Barnette. Because he doesn't trust this damn woman to not have the email disappear.
Two things. First, I think Frankie's playing with us again, and just imagine he has done that, so we can so he can verify that she can verify the binder, and if we go after him, he's going to know something is trapped somewhere, and she has
Right.
a meaning she has a means to actually know what's happening with this weird castle and shit.
Our original task was to receive a binder that was in the possession of Frank. Whether the binder that we received was the binder that was requested is not our fault. We did our part. We have a binder that was given to us, yes, by the individual. Maybe it was procured in that certain way, but we did our job. And we did it well, and we executed it, and it got to the hand that it needed to go to. After that, that's all their problem. I say we write a continuation letter to Dr. Kreuger saying, if you would like to continue with legal actions, you shall be able to, but we will also be doing our own investigation into her research.
And I don't think she wants that getting out if it's what I think it is.
And I don't really want like the bodyguards showing up here and kill us as well, because she can do that.
So can we.
I
don't
think
think
we are quite a bit scarier than her bodyguards, and I think she knows that.
On that note, there's a lot to be discussed by the hunters. Who belongs where? Who is the real threat? And what exactly are they going to do going forward from here on in? But we are going to leave them there for now, folks. Come back next week. And again, find everyone on our socials. We are running around everywhere. SPbN.com is our website. Can we keep an eye on what's going on? Twitch, YouTube, podcasts. We're everywhere now, guys. We'll see you next week. And thank you so much for watching. Mwah!
This has been a St. Petersburg by Night production. What the Hell Is That is produced in agreement with the World of Darkness and Darkpack. The storyteller for What the Hell Is That is Cole. Tonight's characters were voiced by Sam, Nabbers, John, Kingdom, and Nexus. Visit our website at stpetbynight.com for more information about all of our productions and how you can become part of our community. Thank you for listening. Until next time, fangs, stakes, and claws out.